My name is Stephanie Spellers, now the Reverend Canon Stephanie Spellers. I am the newly minted canon for missional vitality in the Diocese of Long Island, which includes Brooklyn, Queens, and Long Island, working to bring missional vitality and transformational ministry into one of the largest and most diverse dioceses in our entire church. I served as a fellow with ECF from, starting in 2008. The dream that I came to the Episcopal Church Foundation with was the dream of following through with research that I had already begun, starting at the end of seminary, continuing for my first 3 years of ordained ministry around radical welcome. Wondering how is it that Episcopal churches can follow through with what we say we want to do around welcoming the other, welcoming emerging cultures and generations, and truly welcoming them to become mutual partners in ministry, welcoming these groups that had usually been on the edge to come all the way in and to share the life of this church and to change the life of this church. So my job was really my research was in just figuring out how are churches doing that. And so I had done a lot of that research earlier. And in my fellowship, I was able to look even more deeply at what are the curricula that we could create in order to train congregations that say they want to do this ministry. And that was one part of it. And the other part of it was figuring out how can you actually form a new congregation that is living into radical welcome. And that congregation is called the Crossing Community. So the 3 years that I was an ECF fellow were the first 3 years that I was kind of on my own doing the ministry of the Crossing Community and beginning to travel the country, teaching and sharing and listening about radical welcome. I love this church enough that I want to help it to figure out how to communicate with these various communities that I know and love. And also because I believe that those communities, those emerging communities, have a lot of life and a lot of wisdom, and that if the Episcopal Church could set aside fear and embrace these communities, we would all be changed for the better. So I feel like there's something that God is doing and a way that God is converting all of us, and we need each other for that. And so radical welcome to me is what opens the door to that kind of transformation. The ECF grant was this unique fund, a unique opportunity that to actually go to a person. Like they came to us, these ministers, and said, we believe in what you're doing. We believe it can help our church to become what God wants it to be. And we're going to give you enough funding that it could make the difference. It could bridge a gap. And for me, that's exactly what it did.